Storytelling about to begin. All right here on the road stage. Storytelling about to begin. Lies, foolishness, and prevarication. Sweet lies for a beautiful lady. And I do enjoy telling sweet lies to beautiful ladies. Any man that says he does not enjoy telling sweet lies to beautiful ladies is a much bigger liar than I am. And any man who's actually never told a sweet lie to a beautiful lady is not very smart. And he lives by himself in his mom's basement, or the garage, or the attic, or in that same little bitty bed that he was sleeping in. That's right. Yes. The one that they haven't put him out of yet. That's the, oh, you know guys like this. Yes, there's a lot of them. And that being said...
Don't be that guy.
I do that to draw a crowd, to stir up interest, to drum up business. Thank you for laughing at these jokes. The jokes are not going to get any better, I promise. And you folks that are sitting all the way over there, don't hide. You know you can sit over here. That way I don't have to look so far. My eyes ain't so good no more. I know I look good. I just don't see so well. That's fine. Says it's a somewhat shadier spot. And I'm a shady character, so I figured and what I'm going to do, because even though I made this drum and I like it, it's heavy. And I notice that I'm becoming more and more frail as I get older. Yeah, I know I don't look very frail, but I am. That's better. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China across the bay. This is a story that takes place in China. There was a man and a woman who saw each other, and they liked each other. And as often happens with men and women, they fell in love. And they got married. And they had a child, and they were happy, because it was a boy. But they were newlyweds, so they did not know what I know. Boys are the laziest creatures on the planet. They are. A boy will work harder to not work than if he went ahead on and did the work he was told to do. Look at him. He's proud. He's nodding his head up and down. He's just as pleased with himself. You are entirely too proud, young man. There's something wrong with you. But then again, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You still live in your mama's house?
No.
You got a job?
Yes.
Shake your head.
Thank you.
You're not as bad as I thought you were. Are you 4? Really? No. Really? You know what? I used to be 4 years old. 56 years ago, I was 4 years old. I gave it up. There wasn't enough money in it. Anyway, thank you for laughing at that joke. Jokes aren't going to get any better. Now, this young man wasn't necessarily lazy. He had a problem that most other young men don't have. He liked to think a lot. This one doesn't think at all, I can tell. As soon as I said that, he said, that ain't me, man. I don't know who you think. I don't be thinking a lot. Waste my energy on thinking. Shoot, I got better things to do. Well, this young man did think a lot. If his parents sent him out to do a job, he would think about it. And then when he got there to do the job, he would think about it. If he was sent to get water, he would stand there and he'd look at the bucket. And he'd think about it. And then when he put water in the bucket, he'd stand there and look at the water in the bucket. And he'd think about it. And his mother and father quickly came to the conclusion, this boy is not going to be a very good farmer. Because he's thinking all the time. We got to take him somewhere where his talents will be appreciated. So they thought that the best place for someone to go who liked to think a lot would be the Buddhist monastery. What do Buddhist monks do? They meditate. And our meditation is thinking. So they pack up his belongings and they take the long walk up into the mountains, up towards the Buddhist monastery. And they get him there about 4 days later. And they knock on the door. One of the monks opens the door and says, may I help you? And they said, yes, we have brought our son. And they said, that's nice. So no, you would like him. He likes to think. And, oh, wow. Now I'm in stereo. Clever these Asians. Anyway. What, you don't think that stuff came from China? I'm willing to gas money that this sound system came from China. And if it wasn't China, then it's Korea. And if it wasn't Korea, then it's Thailand. But it was not made in the USA. Or was it? Don't lie. Anyway. So, well, we're going to take your son in, and we're going to let him stay for a little while. And if he likes life in the monastery, then he can become a monk. And they fed his parents, and they sent them home with a couple of monks to escort them. And the boy spent time in the monastery, and he was enjoying himself because he got to think a lot. And nobody put any pressure on him about thinking. He enjoyed that. And after about a month, they came to him and said, well, you have been here long enough now. Would you like to become a monk in the monastery? And the boy said, if I can continue to think, yes, I want to be a Buddhist monk. So they shaved his head, and they gave him his saffron robe, and he was now officially one of the monks in the monastery. And he had little jobs to do. He would have to clean up over here, or bring in flowers, or carry water. And they didn't mind if he thought about carrying water, because they wanted him to think. But they also taught him to read and write. He could read and write a little bit, but they helped him improve, and they taught him the art of calligraphy, the art of beautiful writing. Now, in those days in China, folks wrote with brushes, not with pens or pencils or anything like that. They used a brush. And the writing system was just beautiful. It was art. And using these brushes to write, the boy also figured out that he could probably do more with it. One day while he was sitting in the great hall in the monastery, it dawned on him that the walls were just plain. Just stark white walls. And he thought something should happen to those walls. There should be art on those walls. This shouldn't just be plain white walls. And so that night, when everybody else in the monastery was asleep, the boy got out his inks and his brushes, and he sat there for a moment and thought about what he should do. And so he drew cats on the wall. All types of cats. There were no cats in the monastery at all, but he wanted to see cats on the walls. And so when sunrise came, and the rest of the monks came out, and he was cleaning up, they saw all of these cats painted on the walls of the great hall. And the head monk said, who told you to do that? He said, nobody told me to do it. I thought about it. I thought it would be a good idea. And since I thought it would be a good idea, I did it. And I think that the cats are beautiful. And the head monk said, you're right, they are beautiful. But you should have asked someone. The walls were plain white for a reason. They were there that way so that you could just look at the walls and focus on your thoughts and not be distracted by anything. Now, I'm not angry with you, but I have to think about what I'm going to do in regard to all this beautiful work you've done. And I want you to go up into the mountains and think about the fact that you did something without asking permission. It's okay. So he went up into the hills and he thought. And when he got back, it was dark. And he was walking through the main hall when he saw something that frightened him terribly. What he saw was a demon rat. Now, there aren't any demon rats here in Morelandshire. There aren't. If you want to see a demon rat, you got to go to the Burg of Harris. In the burg of Harris, there are demon rats. And if you want to see them really big, then you go to this place called the D.C. of Washington. Yes, there are many demon rats. I have seen them. Yes, they are long, and they have fangs, and they're evil, and they smell bad. They do. They just stink up the joint something terrible. Anyhow, and what's worse is people vote for them. When that boy saw that demon rat 15 feet tall with long, bright yellow incisors, he was afraid. He did not want to be eaten by the demon rat. And so he ran and found the only place in the monastery he thought he would be safe. There was one column that sat in front of a corner, and he knew he could squeeze into that corner. And if he got in there, he was pretty sure the demon rat wouldn't be able to get in. And so he squeezed into that corner, and he hid in the darkness, breathing as shallowly as he could so as not to be detected. And while he was hiding in the darkness, he heard something really strange. He heard the sound of cats. All kinds of cats, which really struck him strange since there were no cats in the monastery except for the ones he had painted on the walls. Cats painted on the walls don't make noise. But these cats were making noise. And not only were they meowing, they started to hiss. And then he heard something even stranger still. He heard just unearthly screeching and squealing and howling. He really didn't want to know what that was. And so he continued to hide in the darkness until he fell asleep. And when he woke up, he heard the other monks. My goodness, what's happened here? What is this mess on the floor? And he came out and he noticed that there was this long, wart-covered, it was the tail of the demon rat. But there was nothing else left but the tail. And when he looked at the cats on the walls, they were all licking their paws and licking their chops. He hadn't drawn any looking like that. Those cats had come alive, come off the wall, killed the demon rat, and ate it. I wish that would happen in the burg of Harris or in the D.C. of Washington. I got to do something. Well, the head monk, realizing what had happened, was very happy. And he told the boy he didn't have to do anything to those cats. In fact, he encouraged him to paint more cats on the walls of the monastery. And his fame spread. He worked in every Buddhist monastery throughout all of China, painting cats on the wall. They even invited him to Kathmandu. Well, it wasn't called Kathmandu then, but it was Kathmandu after he got there because he was a cat man, and he did. So it was Kathmandu. They were going to send him to Spain, to Catalonia. But there were no Buddhist monasteries in Catalonia, so they didn't send him there. And I can continue to do these cat jokes, but it would be catastrophic. You might become catatonic. Yes, I'm done now. In case you were wondering, no more. Well, one more cat joke. No, that's it. Anyway, and that young man traveled to Japan, and there he painted cats on the walls of every Buddhist monastery in Japan, and he lived out his life a very happy man. And that was the story of the young man who painted cats. Thank you. Now, one more short one, because soon I must march in the parade, and I need time to prepare. There was a man who had just got off from work, and he's walking down the street, and he noticed a new secondhand store. We here in Pittsburgh know a lot about secondhand stores. We got a bunch of them here. Oh, yeah. And you can get some nice stuff at a secondhand store. Just because it's secondhand doesn't mean it isn't nice. So he walks into the secondhand store, and he's walking around, and he sees something that looks like Aladdin's lamp. And he says, I know this is a fake, but this could be fun. I'll take it home. I'll set it on a shelf. I'll tell everybody I have a genie. They'll laugh. I'll laugh. We'll have a good time. $2. Even if it's a fake, $2, what? That's not a big deal. He takes it home, he dampens the cloth, and he wipes it one time. One wipe, bam, right there in front of him, there's the genie. Your wish is my command. And the man thinks for a bit, and he says, I know. I want to go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go. I used to watch the Hawaii Five-0 and that other one, the tall guy with the mustache. What's his name? What? Him, Magnum. Yes, thank you. That's him. That one. And all of that. And I want to go to Hawaii. And so the genie snaps his finger and says, plane ticket. Cab is waiting outside. Take the plane ticket. Get in the cab. The cab will take you straight to the airport. You will not worry about traffic. Everybody will get out of your way. You will get out the cab. You will walk straight through security. No one there will stop you. No one will stop you. They won't ask you questions. They won't do anything. And you'll get on the plane. Great big jumbo jet. You will be in first class. You will be the only one in first class. Everyone will cater to you. All the way to Hawaii. When you get off the plane, there'll be a cab waiting. Right there on the runway. You don't have to go back to the airport. You will get in the cab. It'll take you straight to the finest hotel in all of Hawaii. You don't need to worry about money. You don't need to worry about a thing. He says, I can't do it. Why? I'm afraid of airplanes. They fall out the sky all the time. Just last week, 2 of them fell out the sky. The people died. It wasn't fun. Can't do it. Forget it. Jesus says, give me back your plane ticket. Boat ticket. Go. Cab is waiting. Boat is at the dock. Great big ocean liner boat. They got all kinds of restaurants. They got movie theaters. You can go see a Broadway show. They even got a swimming pool you can surf in. It'll be great. It'll take you a while because this is Manhattan. And so it'll take a while to get to Hawaii from Manhattan because it's on the other side of the world. But you'll have a good time the whole time there. And then you get there, everything else is the same. Hotel, blah, blah, blah. Can't do it. Why can't you do it? Have you seen the ocean? It's full of water. The ocean is bigger than any boat. Boat sinks. I die. That's not fun. Forget it. Genie says, well, I guess you're not going to go to Hawaii. Well, I'm awfully disappointed, but you could build a bridge. And the genie said, wait a minute, friend. This is Manhattan. Hawaii is on the other side of the world, remember? If I couldn't do it. Look. I got to build the bridge. Then I got to put hotels on the bridge. I got to put gas stations on the bridge. I got to put restaurants on the bridge. I got to put a place just so you can go to the bathroom every now and again on it. Forget it. You ain't going to Hawaii. And the man says, wow, that's terrible. I really wanted to go to, I know. I got it. This will work. I know I can do this. I want to understand women. I have never understood them. I don't understand my mother. She has sisters. I don't understand them. Both of my grandmothers, they don't make any sense to me. Every woman on my job is certifiable. I want to understand women. And the genie looked at the man and said, about that bridge, you want that with one I told my wife that joke. She liked it. She told me I was allowed to tell it. So that's a wife-approved joke. Now, on this bit of fabric, you will see an image. This image is a mouse deer. The mouse deer is the smallest horned animal anywhere in the known world. I cannot tell by looking at this image if this is a male or a female. So I will leave that determination to you very kind folks. If you think this is a male, you can bring him your dough. And if you think this is a female, you can be generous enough to allow your bucks to stop right here. Yes, that's right, baby. I have no shame. That is why I tell stories for... You were late for my show. You are. But I'm a nice guy. And because I'm a nice guy, I'm going to do one quickly just for you. Just for you. There was a king who wasn't happy because he wanted something so special that no one else could have it. He wasn't sure what he would be, but he sure knew what it was when he saw it because he was king, which meant he was smarter than everybody else. It's not true, but politicians still think they're smarter than everybody else. He told his prime minister to find this thing, and if he couldn't find it, then he, the prime minister, would be in very big trouble. Prime minister made an announcement, and all kinds of people came, until one day a little girl came and knocked on the door. And the guard said, what do you want? He said, I have what the king is looking for. He said, no, you don't. Yes, I do. Take me in to see the king. So the king looked at the little girl and said, so what do you have that's so special? And the girl said, me. I am special. I am special and unique. In all the world, there was no one like me. Even if I had a twin that looked just like me, my twin would not be me. Dream the same dreams, think the same thoughts? No. She would be who she is, and I am still who I am, and there's only one of me in all the world. Now, the truth of what she said struck him in his heart. He called the world carpenters and had them build a throne right next to his, just like his. And there she sat and helped him to rule the kingdom. And those were very happy days. Now, I learned that story when I was 7 years old. I've been telling that story now for 53 years. It is true that we are all unique and special and important just because we are who we are. No one dreams the dreams you dream but you. No one thinks the thoughts you think but you. So that makes you a very important person in this world. And if you didn't think you were important before, think it now, because it's true. One day you may think of something that no one else ever thought to do in all their lives, which means the world will be a better place just because you were born into it. Now, as I was saying, that's a mouse deer. I can't tell if it's a male or a female. I'll leave that up to you. If you think it is a male, bring him your doe. If you think it is a female, let your buck stop right here. I have one more presentation along around about 3 o'clock. Remembering stories is easy. Remembering dates and times is hard, which is why I'm glad they have it painted on a piece of wood stuck to that cherry tree. How do I know it's a cherry tree? I've eaten the cherries from it. Anyway, I want to thank you for being a wonderful audience. I want you to know that I'm not going to waste your money frivolously. I will spend every penny of the large amount of money you're going to put in this hat on good liquor and slow women. Why slow women? I'm 60 years old. I can't catch the fast ones anymore. Thank you, sir. You're a gentleman.